So my interest in being a mental performance coach, working on mindset, started from my own self-preservation. When I was 16 particularly, I got drafted to the OHL. I'm starting to rise the ranks, getting to junior hockey. And particularly my mental game started to struggle then. I got injured, but then my NHL draft season came around and I fell flat. I had all these goals, these external results, and I didn't know how to deal with it. There was all kinds of adversity. I actually started working with a mental performance coach. She was great, very helpful. But I was like, this is so important and not well understood. And so I learned, for 10 years after that, throughout my junior career, into a bit of pro and into university hockey, I was like, this matters and it's not being talked about. And there's a lot of misconceptions and misunderstandings. So I was like, that's what drove me to go to school, learn from all kinds of experts like Todd Herman and John DeMartini, and then come up with like, what's the most practical way? How can I personalize it for each person so that they don't have to go through all the struggles that I went through and that pain of, struggling with confidence, beating myself up, having a tough time, and now give them personalized, practical strategies to have an impact. So love getting the work that I get to do now in pro athletes, but also, high performers in any area, whether it's surgeons and hedge fund managers and CEOs. So it's a lot of fun, really enjoy doing the work, and again, stems back from my own challenges that I went through as a young athlete. Well, right when I finished school, I was like, all right, this is what I'm gonna go get after. Let's start focusing on mindset, mental performance coaching. And right away, I always had the idea of like, I didn't want it to be just me. I wanted to have a team, and I've always liked the idea of entrepreneurship and business. And so I've always set it up with the intent of, hey, we're gonna be a team and we'll have admin and finance and marketing and like a group of coaches that then work together and can support. And so that was the intent. And it took some time, and then the snowball started rolling. We went through a pandemic. That was kind of hard, but then also helpful, because then we could work easier remote and Zoom, and then adding lots of great coaches like Nick and Adam and Sarah, and our team's been awesome. And now we're snowballing, we're growing, and we're becoming a firm. So that's been the idea, is like, hey, this is impactful for the world. I don't want to just do it myself. I want to be doing it with others, and we can learn and grow together and give practical and personalized strategies, one athlete at a time, as well as then writing books and speaking and doing those things as well. But I think that one-on-one approach is where the mental performance has the biggest impact on a person, on an athlete. For me, like mindset, like mental toughness, resilience, comes down to like knowing who you want to be. And when you get clarity on what matters to you, your why, the love of the game, how you want to show up, because a lot of people can't answer that question. They're not very clear. But when they're clear on that and they have that certainty in who they are and what their values are, and then they go take the action and it leads to the results. Versus the mistake where people struggle with their mindset is they have that outside-in approach where their mindset is dependent on the external things and they don't slow down and look within. So to me, mental toughness and resilience comes from looking within and having that clarity and that certainty, and everything else rolls from there. Well, I definitely like to really lean into that word coach. I'm not here to just, hey, let's just talk the whole time. It's like, no, let's get to work. Like the athlete, the client, they have to want to do the work. They can't want it less than I want it for them. And I want people to have a shift in their mindset, have an impact. And I'm gonna coach them. I'm gonna guide them and give support, but I'm also gonna challenge and give them practical strategies, and then they gotta go and apply it. And so my approach is very much coach. And it's like, hey, let's work together to find out what works for you. And a lot of our time then is like unraveling the thoughts and the feelings and the actions that are like tangled. It's like, let's unpack that, untangle a bit. Now you go do the work, go play, go practice, perform. All right, how did it work? Let's untangle a bit more. That worked, then keep it going. Or something new came up, okay, we gotta untangle that. And then we get back to work and let them do it. So it's giving them the personalized toolbox strategies, but then being a sounding board, being in their corner with them along the way. My favorite part, it's hard, it's two sides. On one side, it's like seeing somebody excel. It's like they buy in, they do the work, they get the results. You see the joy and them having that impact in their field of play, on the ice, in their sport, in life. And that's obviously awesome. It's like, damn, like, good job. And then the other side is also like helping people just overcome tough things. And so whether they always get the shiny reward or not, sometimes it's like, oh, I went through a tough time and I'm better off for it. And that's that more personal growth that's like, you might not see that on the outside, but on the inside, they're like, thank you. They're like, oh, I feel like, hey, I went through a hard thing, but I feel like I'm all right. I'm going in the right direction. And so that's a very good intrinsic win as well.